I wanted to take a look at the phones that I've used and reviewed this past year and see which ones I would consider the best in certain categories. Let's jump right into it. The first category is going to be the best foldable, and this is going to be including the clamshell and the large folding phones. In my opinion, the Razr Plus of 2024 is the best foldable this year. It just took the best advantage of the form factor from any of the phones out there right now. It has the best cover screen software for clamshell foldable, definitely beats the Samsung in that department. The cameras are upgraded, so now they actually keep up with the competition, even though they're still not quite the best, but improved nonetheless. And they've even added AI features to the software. So even in software, they're keeping up with their competition. So with all that together, it just seems like the best package in the foldable form factor. So it's obviously not a perfect phone because, for one, it has a weaker chipset than the others. The camera system, it does keep up, but it's still not really a flagship level camera. And other small things like that. But the overall experience, you don't even realize that these are issues when you're just using the phone. It's honestly the best experience that I've had on a foldable, at least up to this point. We'll see what 2025 brings. And I will give an honorable mention to the OnePlus Open because it's a great phone even a year later. It didn't come out in 2024, so I wouldn't want to name it the best foldable this year, but it definitely competes still. The next category is going to be the best compact phone. And it's going to include basically sub 6.4 inch screens and the clamshell foldables. Being that it includes two separate form factors, it's not always easy to compare because it's not really apples to apples anymore. But by the end of it, what really stood out to me was the Pixel 9 Pro. And the reason is because it has all the features that you see on the larger version, and they just brought it into a smaller package. This isn't anything new because we've seen it with iPhone for quite some time, but it is new in the Android market. For the longest time, it's been Samsung's base S24 or S series, and it did a pretty good job, but it never really matched the Ultra phone or anything like that. It was just kind of like a step down from that model. Google, however, decided to come out with basically their best phone in a smaller package. And when you do that, there's not really much competition unless the other companies do the exact same thing. And that's why the Pixel 9 Pro to me is the best compact phone. You're literally only giving up screen size and battery size. Other than that, you're getting all the features, all the camera hardware, you're getting everything in there. And that's why it's just a no-brainer to me that it's the best compact phone this year. The third category is going to be the best screen experience. And when I think about the screen, really one phone in 2024 comes to mind as the best one, and that's the Galaxy S24 Ultra. With a 6.8-inch screen, you're basically going to get the best viewing experience or the largest viewing experience with a 16:9 or a 2:1 aspect ratio video. And most videos nowadays are going to be one of those two. So it even competes or even beats foldables when you're watching a video of that dimension. On top of that, you add the screen brightness, which has been increased, and Samsung outperforms or overperforms in those numbers. And you're also adding the anti-glare screen, which doesn't require any protector, that's just the screen itself. And it even added some additional hardness to keep it from scratching, getting micro abrasions as much. So all those things put together it leads to a great viewing experience, and no phone has even matched it. I would also like to give a shout out to the OnePlus Open for this category because they improved the crease compared to the competition in the US and added an anti-glare screen protector on top of it. So the viewing experience on the main inner screen for that phone is pretty much the best one you could get on a foldable. The fourth category is going to be the camera as a whole package. So this is hardware and software. If you were to look at just hardware, I think some phones might make it into the list, but as soon as you start adding features and optimization, those might fall away. So that's why it's important to kind of look at the camera as an entire package. And with that, even though it's gonna probably be controversial, I think people just really hate Samsung sometimes. I think that the S24 Ultra is the best camera as a whole package. The reasons that come to mind are that it actually has good hardware, Yeah, the 3X is terrible, but it covers a small gap, and I think it does good enough to, pass the test most of the time. But it has a good main sensor and a pretty good super telephoto. So with that, along with its great software, it just does a great job overall. In terms of video, Samsung is the best one on Android in my opinion. With photos, they're not the best and probably have a pretty good list of phones in front of it, but they're not the worst. They're actually, even if you consider them average in terms of flagship, when you mix that with the video capabilities, it's gonna put it to the top. And the features that it adds for the camera, like being able to slow it down afterward, or 4K 120, 8K 30, 8K 24, all these different things just lead it to give it the best camera package as a whole. The fifth category is gonna be the best value phone. And it's great when you go out and you get a good deal on a phone because it's a holiday or there was a special or anything like that. But to me, there's nothing like being able to look at a phone and see that right off the bat, MSRP, it's a great value. And in 2024, that phone is the OnePlus 12. It has a great screen with great resolution, great brightness, good facial unlock, responsive software. It has IP65, which if anything, that's probably like the weak spot, but it can handle splashes and getting wet in the rain. It has the new software for being able to read your gestures while it's wet, which is a pretty big deal, and it works okay. It has good cameras, fast wireless charging, fast wired charging. I mean, it's really not missing anything at all. And it seems like a steal at 800, even though, I hesitate to say that because, I don't want the company to start raising the prices on it. But yeah, at $800, it also has 12 gigs of RAM and starts off with 256 gigabytes of storage, which is still not the norm, really, honestly. Even with Samsung, which is probably the cheapest premium phone you could get alongside the OnePlus 12. It's a smaller screen, which, that adds cost. So that's already one thing, even though I prefer smaller phones. It has less RAM and it has less storage starting at $800. So it screams great deal, whichever way you look at it. And then my final category is going to be the best overall phone in 2024. And it's a common one and, often hated phone. Obviously, it's going to be the Samsung S24 Ultra. And the reason I chose the S24 Ultra is because it doesn't leave you like missing anything when you buy it. It has everything you want. The charging is not the fastest, but it's pretty fast charging with 45 watts. It has wireless charging, IP68 rating, some of the best camera as a package, as I mentioned earlier. Awesome software with 7 years of support. You're not gonna miss anything. So if there's one phone that if money is not an obstacle you can get and not be worried that something's gonna be terribly wrong with it, this seems like the phone for me. So it does have competition. It's not like it doesn't have any competition. We have the OnePlus 12, we have the Pixel 9 Pro XL. You have, for sure, if you go overseas, you have plenty of competition as well. But it's the most stable and it has everything you can possibly want on a phone. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of disagreements in pretty much all of the categories. Just let me know which ones you would pick differently in the comments section. If you are interested in any of the phones, feel free to check out the description for affiliate links. That would really help out the channel, but never feel pressured. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.